Hello and welcome to House News. In this episode, we present you the latest information coming from the House of Representatives of Indonesia. And now let's see the headlines for today. House Speaker Puan Maharani urged MPs to dedicate their time and effort to carry out their duties as representative of the people. House Speaker urges evaluation on the free nutritious meal program after a mass poisoning incident affected thousands of students across multiple regions in the past 2 months. Commission 12 emphasized numerous mining companies continue to neglect their post-mining responsibilities, specifically land reclamation and rehabilitation. In a recent plenary session, the House approved the bill on tourism to be enacted into law. The revised legislation focused on inclusive and sustainable tourism development, adapting to the digital era and new tourism models. Reza Rahadian's Pangku or Into On Your Lap the movie emerged as the biggest winner at the 30 Busan International Film Festival Vision Awards 2025. During a plenary session on the 2024-2025 performance report, House Speaker Puan Maharani urged all MPs to make the House a true representative institution for the people, insisting on concrete action to address public aspiration and concerns.
Presenting the 2024-2025 performance report in the special plenary sessions, Speaker of the House Puan Maharani emphasized the responsibility of the House to carry out the people's mandate as outlined in the constitutions. Therefore, the House should go beyond its legislative functions and deliver tangible benefits to improve the daily lives of the people. Throughout the 2024-2025 legislative year, the House, together with the government, has completed 16 bills which have become laws. Meanwhile, 10 other bills are still in the first-level discussion stage. In the budgetary functions, the House actively monitors the effectiveness of state budget use, provides critical recommendations, and ensures budget allocations have a direct impact on the welfare of the people.
Inilah saatnya bagi kita, DPR RI, untuk merefleksikan sejauh mana kita telah menjalankan amanat yang dipercayakan rakyat kepada kita. Kedaulatan rakyat yang dijalankan oleh DPR RI tidak boleh berhenti hanya pada prosedur, melainkan harus dijalankan melalui kerja nyata.
During the legislative year, the House carried out extensive oversight activities including working meetings, public hearings, and field visits, while also receiving thousands of public submissions and complaints, both in person and through digital channels. All performance reports for the year will be published as official documents, highlighting the accountability to the public. Andini Putri, TVR Parliament reports.
The House demands an evaluation on the free nutritious meal program as it currently operates without a legal framework. Proper regulations, such as a presidential regulation, are needed to ensure coordination among ministries, local governments, and relevant institutions in implementing the program.
Speaker of the House Dr. Anaris Kausa Puan Maharani stated the implementations of the Free Nutritious Meal Program or MBG must be carefully managed as it directly impacts the future of Indonesian children and should not create additional problems. With the rising phenomenon of food poisoning among students, Puan urges a comprehensive evaluation of the program to ensure it hits the target. Puan emphasized the House is committed to strengthening oversights of the program to ensure the provisions and distributions of meals to students is effective without further issues.
DPR RI kemarin melalui komisi sudah meminta supaya ada payung hukumnya berupa perpres dan saya sudah mendapatkan laporannya akan segera dikeluarkan perpres terkait payung hukum sehingga bisa melibatkan seluruh kementerian lembaga yang terkait sehingga nantinya bisa ikut membantu dan tentu saja menjaga jangan sampai kemudian proses dari penyediaan program makan bergizi ini mempunyai masalah lagi di lapangan. Jadi hal tersebut tentu saja kita harus sama-sama untuk mendorong mendukung bagaimana perbaikan di lapangan ini bisa segera ditindaklanjuti oleh pihak-pihak yang terkait.
Furthermore, Puan urges the government to immediately issue a presidential regulations to improve the management of the free nutritious meal program. Cross-ministry support is necessary to support the free nutritious meal program because many issues still occur, including sanitations, food safety, and the growing needs of the food supply chain. Hilman Enjaya, TVR Parlemen Report.
Commission 12 remains reclamation as a primary and non-negotiable obligation within Indonesia's mining sector, as it is a strategic instrument for sustainable development and also for balancing the economic interest and environmental conservation.
Vice Chairperson of Commission 12 of the House Sugeng Suparwoto mentions, properly implemented reclamations can transform former mining land into productive ecosystems. The successful outcome is visible in regions where former mining lands have been successfully reforested, local water quality remains protected, and the restored ecosystems now provide benefits for surrounding communities.
Kaidah-kaidah best management practice yang baik, maka juga pertambangan itulah yang akan merusak peradaban. Nah, ini harus menjadi perhatian kita, karena dari kita bangun tidur, dari sejak lahir, kita semuanya bersentuhan dengan pertambangan, yakni adalah produk-produk hari ini semuanya adalah produk pertambangan. Nah, tetapi sekali lagi, pertambangan adalah menggali sumber daya alam yang tidak terbaharui, maka apalagi terus dipastikan namanya pertambangan, pertamanya pasti merusak alam. Maka itulah pentingnya reklamasi 100%. Kalau dalam Undang-Undang Nomor 3 Tahun 2020 misalnya ditekankan syarat untuk pertambangan itu adalah dengan juga skema reklamasi yang harus bisa menjamin bahwa kawasan pertambangan itu akan kembali seperti semula sebagaimana sebelum dibuka pertambangan itu.
In addition, Sugeng pointed out the obligations of reclamations is regulated in Law No. 3 of 2020. By consistently implementing reclamation practices, the mining industry will no longer be seen as a danger, instead as a key supporter of sustainable development. From South Sulawesi, Slamet Sanjaya, TVR Parlemen Reports.
After the break, we bring you information from the tourism law, so stay tuned to House News.
Mengenal tugas dan fungsi DPR RI. Dewan Perwakilan Rakyat atau DPR adalah lembaga negara yang mewakili aspirasi rakyat. Kehadiran DPR RI merupakan salah satu bukti bahwa Indonesia merupakan negara demokrasi. Sebagai salah satu lembaga perwakilan rakyat, apa saja tugas dan fungsi yang diemban DPR RI? Berdasarkan Pasal 20A Ayat 1 Undang-Undang Dasar 1945, DPR memiliki 3 fungsi, yakni fungsi legislasi, anggaran, dan pengawasan. Tugas dan wewenang DPR berbeda untuk setiap fungsinya. Yang pertama, fungsi legislasi. Menyusun program legislasi nasional atau prolegnas, menyusun dan membahas rancangan undang-undang, menerima rancangan undang-undang yang diajukan oleh DPD, membahas rancangan undang-undang yang diusulkan oleh Presiden ataupun DPD, menetapkan undang-undang bersama dengan Presiden, menyetujui atau tidak menyetujui peraturan pemerintah pengganti undang-undang yang diajukan oleh Presiden untuk ditetapkan menjadi undang-undang. Yang kedua, fungsi anggaran. Memberikan persetujuan atas rancangan undang-undang tentang APBN yang diajukan oleh Presiden. Memberikan persetujuan terhadap pemindahtanganan aset negara maupun terhadap perjanjian yang berdampak luas bagi kehidupan rakyat yang terkait dengan beban keuangan negara. Menindaklanjuti hasil pemeriksaan atas pengelolaan dan tanggung jawab keuangan negara yang disampaikan oleh BPK. Memperhatikan pertimbangan DPD atas rancangan undang-undang tentang APBN dan rancangan undang-undang terkait pajak, pendidikan, dan agama. Yang ketiga, fungsi pengawasan. Fungsi pengawasan, DPR bertugas melakukan pengawasan terhadap pelaksanaan Undang-Undang APBN dan kebijakan pemerintah, serta membahas dan menindaklanjuti hasil pengawasan yang disampaikan oleh DPD. Demikian penjelasan tentang tugas dan fungsi DPR menurut Undang-Undang. Informasi ini dipersembahkan oleh TV dan Radio Parlemen, Biro Pemberitaan Parlemen, dan Sekretariat Jenderal DPR RI.
Selamat datang di Biro Pemberitaan Parlemen. Anda memasuki kawasan zona integritas menuju wilayah bebas dari korupsi atau WBK dan wilayah birokrasi bersih dan melayani atau WBBM. Biro Pemberitaan Parlemen berkomitmen penuh untuk mewujudkan wilayah bebas korupsi dan wilayah birokrasi bersih dan melayani. Komitmen kami, pejabat dan jajaran memiliki komitmen tinggi untuk mewujudkan WBK dan WBBM melalui reformasi birokrasi, khususnya dalam hal pencegahan korupsi dan peningkatan kualitas pelayanan publik. Kedua, bebas dari korupsi dengan terwujudnya wilayah bebas korupsi atau WBK, yang artinya bebas dari KKN, gratifikasi dan dari segala bentuk pungutan liar atau pungli. Terakhir, pelayanan prima dengan terwujudnya wilayah birokrasi bersih melayani, yaitu dengan meningkatnya kualitas pelayanan publik dan tercapainya kepuasan masyarakat terhadap pelayanan.
Sekarang, kamu bisa menyaksikan program-program TVR Parlemen di First Media, channel 18 ya.
Commission 7 welcomed the enactment of the tourism law as a strategic step to strengthen Indonesia's tourism sector. The new framework allows the House and government to take a more focused approach in promoting tourism in Indonesia.
Member of Commission 7 of the House Samuel Watimena mentioned, as an archipelagic nation, Indonesia has a wealth of natural, cultural, artistic, and culinary diversity. However, disparities in infrastructure and facility remain obstacles to developing tourism potential. Hence, collaborations among all ministries and related institutions is needed to optimize their strategic roles in creating a competitive tourism sectors.
Dan ini tidak hanya berdiri pada pariwisata, ekonomi kreatif maupun UMKM, tapi ini juga menyangkut Kementerian Perhubungan, ini menyangkut Kementerian Kebudayaan, dan berbagai sektor lainnya, termasuk Pokdarwis, termasuk Karang Taruna, termasuk mereka di seluruh lapisan di desa-desa harus punya pemahaman kelebihan di daerah masing-masing itu apa. Nah, kelebihan ini kemudian bisa dikapitalisasinya bagaimana? Dengan tidak melupakan hak-hak dari warga di setiap daerah, kampung maupun desa. Karena mereka harus berperan serta.
The implementations of the tourism law must promote fairness and inclusivity so that communities in every village and rural area can feel the benefits from the development of the tourism sectors. Fajar Ilhami, TVR Parliament Report.
The House and government has approved an economic stimulus package to address rising food needs ahead of the new year. The aid will be distributed together with rice assistance from November to December 2025.
Vice Chairperson of the Budget Committee Muhyiddin Muhammad Said explained, the committee recommended adding cooking oil assistance for poor and vulnerable families to the 2025 state budget. As a result, 20 million families will receive 2 liters of cooking oil each month. This measure is done as economic stimulus to maintain the purchasing power of low-income households, particularly approaching the end of year.
Memang ada stimulus ekonomi berbentuk bantuan beras selama 2 bulan, mulai dari November sampai Desember, itu 10 kilo selama 2 bulan. Kemudian pada saat kami rapat konsultasi dengan pimpinan DPR, antara pimpinan Badan Anggaran dengan pimpinan DPR RI, kita berkesimpulan bahwa kalau hanya beras, saya kira perlu ada tambahan. Sehingga kita minta kepada Menteri Keuangan supaya diberikan tambahan. Jadi bukan hanya soal beras, tapi ditambah juga minyak makan.
In addition, the House emphasized social support must be distributed accurately and strictly monitored to ensure it benefits the intended recipients and prevent any misuse. Tegar Aziz, TVR Parlemen reports.
To tackle illegal fishing across Indonesia's waters, Commission 4 demands increased budget for maritime oversight. Current resources are insufficient to manage effective patrols, supervision, and enforce against illegal fishing practices.
Member of Commission 4 of the House, Firman Subagio, stated, in previous years, the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries received only a small budget for maritime oversight. While the allocations has increased this year due to pressure from the House, Firman believes it is still insufficient to tackle the threat of illegal fishing in Indonesian waters. To meet this challenge, he suggested stronger synergy among institutions such as the Indonesian Navy, the Maritime Security Agency or Bakamla, the Water and Air Police, and the involvement of local fishermen as strategic partners in maritime oversight.
Kapal-kapal asing yang sudah mulai menggunakan senjata. Ini juga menjadi tantangan tersendiri dan alhamdulillah itu sudah mendapatkan peningkatan di angka 1 triliun lebih. Namun dengan angka yang 1 triliun itu kami anggap juga masih jauh dari apa yang kita harapkan. Karena kita melihat luas laut kita yang sangat luar biasa dan kami minta ditingkatkan kerjasama antar lembaga.
In addition, Firman said increasing the budget and cross-sector collaborations are needed to protect maritime sovereignty. He asked the government to focus maritime oversight policies not only on increasing the budget, but also on improving efficiency and operational coordinations. Fajar Ilhami and Kristio, TVR Parlemen report.
We have information on music and movies. When we return, only on House News.
Hai, sekarang kamu bisa menyaksikan program-program TVR Parlemen di First Media, channel 18 ya.
Bahwa saya demi Allah, saya bersumpah dan seadil-adilnya
Periode keanggotaan DPR RI hingga saat ini, yaitu terdapat 126 undang-undang yang telah selesai dibahas DPR RI.
Terima kasih rekan Elisa dan juga Danina. Pemirsa,
Mengenal tugas dan fungsi DPR RI. Dewan Perwakilan Rakyat atau DPR adalah lembaga negara yang mewakili aspirasi rakyat. Kehadiran DPR RI merupakan salah satu bukti bahwa Indonesia merupakan negara demokrasi. Sebagai salah satu lembaga perwakilan rakyat, apa saja tugas dan fungsi yang diemban DPR RI? Berdasarkan pasal 20A ayat 1 Undang-Undang Dasar 1945, DPR memiliki 3 fungsi, yakni fungsi legislasi, anggaran, dan pengawasan. Tugas dan wewenang DPR berbeda untuk setiap fungsinya. Yang pertama, fungsi legislasi. Menyusun program legislasi nasional atau prolegnas, menyusun dan membahas rancangan undang-undang, menerima rancangan undang-undang yang diajukan oleh DPD, membahas rancangan undang-undang yang diusulkan oleh Presiden ataupun DPD, menetapkan undang-undang bersama dengan Presiden, menyetujui atau tidak menyetujui peraturan pemerintah pengganti undang-undang yang diajukan oleh Presiden untuk ditetapkan menjadi undang-undang. Yang kedua, fungsi anggaran. Memberikan persetujuan atas rancangan undang-undang tentang APBN yang diajukan oleh Presiden. Memberikan persetujuan terhadap pemindahntanganan aset negara maupun terhadap perjanjian yang berdampak luas bagi kehidupan rakyat yang terkait dengan beban keuangan negara. Menindaklanjuti hasil pemeriksaan atas pengelolaan dan tanggung jawab keuangan negara yang disampaikan oleh BPK. Memperhatikan pertimbangan DPD atas rancangan undang-undang tentang APBN dan rancangan undang-undang terkait pajak, pendidikan, dan agama. Yang ketiga, fungsi pengawasan. Fungsi pengawasan, DPR bertugas melakukan pengawasan terhadap pelaksanaan Undang-Undang APBN dan kebijakan pemerintah, serta membahas dan menindaklanjuti hasil pengawasan yang disampaikan oleh DPD. Demikian penjelasan tentang tugas dan fungsi DPR menurut Undang-Undang. Informasi ini dipersembahkan oleh TV dan Radio Parlemen, Biro Pemberitaan Parlemen, dan Sekretariat Jenderal DPR RI.
After stealing the spotlight at the 2025 Busan International Film Festival and taking home 4 prestigious awards, Pangku the Movie has now officially released its emotionally trailer and poster.
Reza Rahadian, widely known as one of Indonesia's top actors, has taken a bold step into filmmaking. He made his debut as director with the movie Pangku, titled On Your Lap, for its international release. Pangku marks the directorial debut of Reza Rahadian under his production company Gambar Gerak. The film features performances by Clarissa Taufan, Christine Hakim, Fedi Nuril, and Devano Danendra. It tells the story of a young woman named Sartika who is expecting a child. She leaves her hometown with the hope of providing a better life for her baby. Her journey leads her to Ibu Maya, the owner of a coffee shop, known for her kindness and generosity. Ibu Maya offers Sartika help and support through her pregnancy and childbirth. However, behind her kindness, she has another motive. Ibu Maya traps Sartika into working as a waitress at her Pangku coffee shop. Pangku was selected to represent Indonesia at the 30th Busan International Film Festival. Surprisingly, Pangku successfully dominated the awards by earning 4 trophies, the highest number in the program. The drama film received the KB Vision Audience Award, the Vipresi Award, the Central Asia Cinema Award, and the Face of the Future Award. These 4 honors established Pangku as the most awarded film in this year's Visions Awards program.
Legendary singer Mariah Carey received a unique welcome when arriving in Indonesia ahead of her concert in Bogor. Her arrival was celebrated with a lively ondel-ondel parade accompanied by the traditional Tanjidor music from Betawi.
Global music star Mariah Carey has officially arrived in Indonesia and was greeted with a warm and festive welcome. Organized by Color Asia Live, the concert promoter. Instead of a red carpet, Carey was welcomed by the sight and sound of ondel-ondel puppets. Each over 2 meters tall, moving side to side in their colorful costumes. Traditional Betawi musicians play instruments like the tanjidor and rebana, while dancers in traditional attire added rhythm and excitement to the scene. This was not a typical celebrity welcome. It was a special cultural performance prepared to honor the singer while introducing her to Indonesia's rich traditions. For many Indonesians, ondel-ondel is not just entertainment. It is a symbol of protection and good fortune. Mariah Carey will perform at the Sentul International Convention Center as part of her celebrations of Mimi World Tour. This is her third time performing for Indonesian fans after her concert in 2004 and 2018. The concert opened with a 30-minute performance by Boys Live, the duo formed by Keith Duffy and Brian McFadden, both former members of the legendary boy bands Boyzone and Westlife. Their energetic set invited the audience to sing along and relive the nostalgia of beloved hits from the late 1990s. Wearing an elegant black outfit, the 56-year-old singer opened her show with her new song, Type Dangerous. She then performed her classic hits including Emotions, Butterfly, Without You, Big Energy, and Obsessed. During Emotions, Carey amazed the audience with her famous whistle registers, showing once again why she remains one of the world's greatest vocalists.
After years of speculation and anticipation, the sequel of their feature film, The Simpsons movie sequel, has been officially confirmed. 20th Century Studios and Disney have announced the second film will be released in summer 2027.
The Simpsons movie will return for a sequel 20 years after the original. Disney and 20th Century haven't confirmed any plot details for The Simpsons, but they shared the poster on Instagram, featuring a signature pink donut and the tagline, "Homer's coming back for seconds." The sequel is set to be released in summer 2027. Aside from the social media poster, Disney and 20th Century have released no further details. In the meantime, fans are left anticipating how Homer and his family will navigate life in the beloved town of Springfield in the upcoming The Simpsons movie sequel. The film has reportedly replaced an untitled Marvel project which has been removed from the studio schedule. The original 2007 film was a box office success, earning more than $500 million worldwide and achieving nominations for Best Animated Film at the BAFTA Awards, Critics' Choice Awards, and the Golden Globes. The first film followed the Simpson family as Springfield faced an environmental disasters caused by Homer. The Environmental Protection Agency eventually sealed the city inside a giant glass dome. The Simpsons is the longest-running animated series and sitcom on television. Set in the fictional town of Springfield, the show tells the lives of the Simpson family, including Dad Homer, Mom Marge, and kids Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. The Simpsons first appeared in 1987 as cartoon shorts and another US TV show. The show has now aired for 37 seasons and it was recently renewed through to seasons 40, which will air in the middle of 2028 and 2029. Mark your calendars and get ready. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie are back.
And that's House News for today. Thank you for watching everyone and have a good day.